What have you brought? He's not stopped.
Changing gears.
That was hard.
Hoping to get to Brighton in one piece, really.
I thank you. I thank you.
Welcome to what is going to be a very special two-part Cycling Weekly video. Now, the idea for this video is the eBay bike challenge, and this was the winning idea from our 100,000 subscriber contest.
Now, our producer thinks we've all completely lost sight of reality in respect to spending our own money on bikes. I mean, I've been given bikes for 10 years to race on, in the same way that these guys have also been given some pretty swish bikes through the magazine. It was only recently that you've just had a pretty swanky Trek Madone, which unfortunately you've had to give back.
Yes, that is the point of this, is that we get given such good kit. What is it like to spend our own money? So the producer said, you have £128 of your own money to spend on some road bikes. 128 signifies how many years the magazine has been rolling for, which is a long, long time. So the challenge is to ride from London to Brighton, but that isn't the most arduous thing. There are a number of challenges along the way that are set to trip us up.
That's right, but before we can do any riding, we're going to need to get some bikes. So, and here's something I've not said for a long time, it's time to do some bike shopping.
Right, this is proving like mission impossible right now. I mean, the troubles of being a short person and bikes which seem to be upsized the further back you go. I'm not overly hopeful that this bike is actually going to get me to Brighton, but there's one thing I can guarantee. I can get the coolest bike. So that's what I'm going to try and do.
So I'm looking for my eBay bike right now, and there's some pretty special options out there. I've narrowed it down to 2 bikes that I think I want to get. Let's check them out. Here's one of them. Comes equipped with TT bars. Look at those. Even more beautiful is this. Oh, stunning Campagnolo chorus group set on this bike. Look at that. That must be well worth 150 quid at least, probably a lot more, going for £97, but it is bid only, so I do think this is going to shoot up in price. There's also this option, which is this Rally Olympus bike. Personally, I haven't heard of it, but it does look absolutely great in that silver frame, and it's a really nice compact design. Even comes with a bell and a pannier rack. Slightly wider tyres than the Reynolds bike that you just saw as well, so it should be more comfortable. But there's only one thing left to do, and that's to go and view it. It's on for £100 only, no offers, but it has been posted for a long time, so I'm wondering if I can talk him off the cliff edge a little bit and get some cash out of him.
So the guy's just dropped off the bike and I've got it, and I have to say, I think I'm gonna fit it. I'm worried because I didn't check the size, but look at this. What a machine. I was a bit worried that this wasn't going to work, but the gears work, the tyres are even pumped up. The guy was super nice. You know, it does need a clean. I'll get James Bracey to do that, I think. But look at it, it's just fantastic. I think the other guys have gone modern. I reckon they've gone modern and safe. But I've got a retro frame, steel frame. And I'm just going to look super cool.
Right, through the gate now, gonna go meet our man. Here he is. Ah,
Good to meet you.
good to meet you, mate. What a beauty! Check this thing out. My God. I mean, like, it's not very sunny, so it's not really doing it justice. So I'm on the train back home to London now, and I cannot take my eyes off this thing. It truly was love at first sight.
Well, hey! Well, I've done it. I've travelled out here, spent £100 on a bike that, honestly, I don't even think is worth close to £100. I only bought it out of a sense of awkwardness because I bothered the guy to come and see it, which is classic me, really. But at least it works okay. He let me ride it up and down the street, not before he made me exchange my van key for the bike, because obviously his bike is worth the same value as my van. You do the maths on that one.
But it works fine, shift's okay, saddle height's set, so I know it fits me, but people were definitely smaller in the olden days. But hey ho, okay, I've overspent. As long as it gets me to Brighton, and I really hope it gets me to Brighton, that's all that matters really, and it survives the challenges. But first I've got to get back to the office. I'll give you guys a closer look when I get back.
So, on reflection, maybe it is slightly too big. Top tube's measuring 56. I'm usually 52, 54 at a push. But funnily enough, the saddle height is just over 73 centimetres, which is what I usually ride at. So maybe I'll be overstretched a little bit. Might not be able to reach the drops. But, I mean, gearing wise, it shifts up into the big ring really easily and down to little. However many speeds it is at the back, let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speeds. I mean, what a dream. A couple of things I'm worried about. Ditchling Beacon. To get to Brighton from London, you have to traditionally go up Ditchling Beacon. The thing weighs quite a bit. The next thing is the tyres. Very old Michelin's by the looks of it. They're very narrow. You know, old school tyres were no bigger than 19s in the day. That's a concern. But other than that, it looks okay. It just needs a bit of a clean. And I'll probably change the pedals because I'm not going in flats. The other concern about going up any climbs is that the inner ring is a 42 tooth ring, which is massive. And at the back, I mean, I can't see what it is, but it's no bigger than a 20. So that is a huge gear. But with something like this, you know, in the 80s and 90s and people racing these type of bikes, how do they do it? I mean, the old guys say the modern cyclist has gone soft. I think they're right.
I'm going to tell you what I like about it and why I've been attracted to it. For starters, it is a stunning looking silver compact frame, which I'm really into. I think that looks great. It's a 10-speed bike and it's got suicide shifters on the down tube. Now, again, lots of bikes from this period have those features as well, but I've never used down tube shifters before in my life, and I'm pretty excited about giving them a go, so keep an eye out for me seamlessly shifting my way up Ditchling Beacon. Then I'm really into the tyres. You see, the trick with this bike is it's actually a touring bike, and I think James and Simon are going to go in pretty hard on old school racing bikes with really skinny tyres and pump them up to really hard pressures because they'll be really old, whereas I have the luxury of going for these fat tyres, probably not as much PSI because they won't need to be as well inflated, and I'll be incredibly comfortable the whole way to Brighton.
Who's a lucky boy? I think I've done pretty well here, and I've got myself a Peugeot PN10 at that. I mean, I've seen some of these go for well over £1,000 online, so to get this for just 125 quid, I mean, that's an absolute steal. So it's a steel tubed frame, it's 53 centimetres, so I've managed to just get it in my size, and it's only got a 5-block cassette at the back. Now it's front chain rings. I mean, these are quite interesting. I've got a 50-tooth big ring and I've got a 44-tooth little ring. Now we've got to ride up Ditchling Beacon. I mean, Christ knows how I'm going to get up that in a 44-23. On the plus side though, it is one of the coolest bikes from the last 4 decades, so I feel pretty privileged to be riding this.
Tinggal milih peneman body and soul.